Hello, Augie. Hello, kitten. Do that rinse cycle. Jerky. You want it? Hello. Want it? Is it good? Hello and welcome back to Art Therapy with Jen. Today I have a completed magazine collage art journal flip through for y'all. Whew, that's a mouthful, but this is a journal I have recently finished, and this video will be the long version where I chat and discuss each page. I do have another version that is shorter that just has music and me flipping through, so I will link that in the iCard and down below if that's more your style. But if you like longer talking videos, hey, let's get right into this thing. So this journal, which if y'all been watching my channel for a while, you've seen a lot. I did magazine collage for this whole journal, and I mixed it with like Sharpies and paint pens and things, but mostly magazine. And I started this journal at the beginning of 2017, and we're in April of 2019 when I finished it. So it's taken me 2 years just journaling on and off to get it finished. And I have just had a ball with it, really. So this was a composition notebook, and I modified the cover. So I just took Mod Podge and paper towels and made this texture here. And then I took duct tape and reinforced it and just made these designs because I love duct tape, so who doesn't, right? And then this was just Sharpie and black watercolors and cardstock, and then what I painted this with, I honestly can't remember. I have a video that I've downloaded off my main channel when I used to do art videos on there way back that I'm hoping to put some throwback videos on here, but I think this is a mix of apple barrel paints and then just some metallic inks and who knows what all, but it was some fun texture. Oh, these little circles here I did with bubble wrap. I remember that. So I just had fun with that, and you know, the Mod Podge and the paper towels, it really made for a good sturdy cover. So let's open it here, and I just wanted to do the opening, like backing or however you say that, just very simple. I just took some scrapbook paper that I really liked and just put it in there, you know, before we get to all these pages with lots of elements. Okay, so let's get to the first page. This one I was in a little bit of an art block. I didn't journal very much for a few months. Oh, sorry, that's my phone, y'all, but we're going to keep this going. But I didn't journal for a few months, and I started experimenting with things. I was so scared to try all kinds of different things. So this one, I got the backgrounds on here, and I wasn't that much into ripping the pages yet. And I wanted to try, I had seen these YouTubers put the collage down, and then they topped it with matte medium. And that's what it is here, and it's finally not sticky, but oh my gosh, it stuck and kept this crinkle for the longest time, and it didn't end up being something that I really enjoyed doing, but it was fun to experiment, and I do like how matte it made the page. I really do. So you can see where it stuck, it took part of her face off, and this was just one of those situations. Like I said, I had no creative anything, and I just wanted to put some stuff on the page. So then let's fast forward. Here's another one I did around that time. I started ripping the pages up, and you'll notice these don't have words either. I just wanted to put something down on the paper to kind of see, just to do something, because when you have a block, you just need to start doing things and almost kind of warm up that muscle. So we have the gemstones and these girls from eyewear ads, and a lot of fun with it. I was going to go back and put words, but I felt like, you know, it's just good as is. So I don't have dates on these. This is the first one I have dates on. And this one was from May 13th of 2017. So almost a year ago, or probably by the time this goes up, it'll be right at a year. And I really enjoyed this one. It was just very simple. I wasn't using any Sharpies or pens or anything like that on the page. Just, you know, going very simple and trying to make a story with it. And we have these two girls here. They're twins, and they have a whole different, like, each one was raised different. It's kind of like, oh, what was that movie where you have the twins and one was raised rich and one poor? I forget. But it kind of almost a fantasy version of that. And I also have a video of this, but it was on my old channel. And like I had mentioned before, I'm thinking about taking those videos, because they're no longer public on that channel, and downloading them and re-editing them and doing some throwbacks on this channel, so y'all can see some of my like earlier processes if y'all would be interested in that. And here is one. This is on my channel. It was one of my first videos on this art channel. And all these ones that have videos, I'll put as many iCards as it'll let me, and I'll link them all in the description as well. And this one was so much fun. This reignited my, you know, art journaling bug, if you will. I just had so much fun with it. This one does have a lot of paint. This is probably the most paint I used in a page on this journal. But I just had all these different girls from magazine ads, and I took some black paint. I just blackened out all the backgrounds and went over it with this metallic, all these different color shifting metallics. Oh, and it was so much fun, just kind of manipulating it to what I wanted it to say. So I had so much fun with this one. Alright, and this is where we introduce the gel pen, isn't it? Yep, I used metallic markers on this one. So this is when I started playing around with the white gel pens, because I had got a white gel pen in a set a while ago, and I thought, what am I going to do with this? Like, you can't write white on white paper, you can't see nothing. And so I started just playing around with it. This one was done May 23rd of 2018, and I do have a video for this one as well. And I started telling more stories with this, and oh, I love the way that markers, or the pen, this is all gel pen layered on top of here, and it really brought that background together. And I really fell in love with using that type of material. This one as well. Gosh, I had a big gap there. This one went from May to, we're now in September 2018. I also have a video for this one, and I started mixing different color gel pens and also writing words, because I would see these journalers on YouTube use these stamps and stencils that had the pre-done writing on it, and I didn't have those, and I'm usually just, I don't like to fool with too many different mediums at one time, or medias, or however you say that. So I was like, what if I just write words? I started doing this whole thing like it was this girl's journal, and there were all these words in there, and just kind of getting some emotion on the page. And I really like this one. I tried to play with more colors and just be kind of whimsical. I mean, gosh, this is just, I love this image here with her, kind of like a rainbow bright pastel Marie Antoinette. Love it. Let's see. And then next, this one, do I have a date on here? Yes, this one was also in September of 2018. Oh, I had so much fun with this one. This one's kind of funny because I realized I'm starting, like, I guess I'm starting to get old in a way, because I've always said I like to use images that don't have really recognizable celebrities in them, so it's more kind of, you can read into it what you want, you know, because celebrities have such powerful, you know, brand recognition, and you remember them certain ways, and you have a preconceived notion of their personality and whatnot. And I didn't realize this guy here, he's very famous with the like mid-20s and under set. I think Cole Sprouse, he's on Rosedale. Is that the one that's like the Archie comics reimagined? And I started getting all these views on this video, and I thought, what? Because my channel, I barely got any views at that time. And people were like, I see Cole Sprouse, I click. So I thought that was really neat. And this one, I mixed the Sharpie with the gel pens, and I just made this whole just like melange of all this just grungy, hairy looking mess. I had just a lot of fun with it. I just started allowing myself to experiment more and just have fun. And this is probably one of my favorite pages. This one I did in October of 2018. And I had this idea to do this thing called a one magazine challenge. And I thought, well, I'll just try it. I thought it would be neat because I had all these people commenting that they have trouble getting a hold of magazines. I sign up for tons of free offers with them, and I have people save them for me. So that's never been an issue for me. But I thought, well, what if I just take one magazine and I do a page just from the stuff in that magazine? And this came out of it. Oh my gosh, and it was so much fun. And I really had a lot of fun editing this video. And it kind of started the style that I would use going forth, going forth. Yeah, that makes sense. In videos on the channel. Now this one, the video I edited, I mean, it took me probably almost a month to get that whole video edited because I'm very limited in my time, but I love the way it was edited and with the music matched up and everything. This one's called The Secret on my channel, One Magazine Challenge #1. I'll link it. Again, I'll link it if it'll let me in the iCard. It'll also be down below, but it's called The Secret. And oh, I just had so much fun with this storytelling. And then I did these, like they're writing letters to each other in the Sharpie. And just so much fun with all these different layers. Because I like to put tons of elements on the page because I want people to see something different every time they look at it, even if they look at it 10 times. So, oh, had so much fun with that one. Okay, the next one, this was One Magazine Challenge #2. This was in October of 2018. And this one ended up being kind of, I guess, like a sisterhood theme and just, you know, women supporting each other and that type of stuff. I work in an all female office, and I was just feeling some things. Some of y'all have picked up. I work out a lot of my frustrations with like my professional life and daily life. I've learned that I can really journal them out, thus Art Therapy with Jen. And it comes out in really fun and creative things because this stuff right here, y'all, is my sanity. If I did not have a hobby like this, I don't know. I don't know. You just really need something to really change gears that you can get to. But I had so much fun with this one, playing around with the writing some more, and then this watch ad overlaid. I love, is it called fussy cutting, I guess? Or I don't know, where you cut the whole background out all around, and so you can place it on another background to look like it was meant to be there, and just mixing that with these boxy, ripped out images. I have a ball with it. I have a ball with it. Okay, this is another one. I really like this one because I'm from the South, so I'm biased. But I think I did this one on Thanksgiving last year. I was going to say Thanksgiving break, but I only get Thanksgiving at work. So this one was fun, due south. I used a garden and gun magazine. This was another One Magazine Challenge, and you know, we got the country singer and this, you know, love story, and of course you got to have the big flowers, and got to have your hound dog, of course. And oh, I just had so much fun with it. I would love to be able to find more images that are more in keeping to my southern roots, because there's just something about that, and I think that's each regional thing. Like if you're from New England, you all have certain things that just they just hit you in your soul. And me, born and raised and everything in East Tennessee, there's just certain things and parts of our culture that just really warm my soul up. So, and go Vols. Alright, this one I love as well. This one was done December 31st, 2018. I have a video for this one as well. I have always loved cyberpunk theme things. Oh my gosh, love cyberpunk. And I was seeing all these circuitry that I find in some of these magazines, in this metallic, and she's from a fashion magazine, and I found this where the hand was shaking like a robot hand, which I think was actually from an insurance ad, and it just came together organically, which is kind of funny when you're talking about robots. But it was so much fun to do this one, and it's one of the simpler pages, but it's one of my favorite ones. I love the colors on there. I've been slowly getting more comfortable with using color. I used to be like a pure like monochromatic journaler. And then this next one, this one was done in January of 2019, and I just had some feelings that I had to get out, because I'm working on a lot of goals in my life, and sometimes it's really hard, especially those long-term goals, because you get frustrated and you start questioning, do I really want to pursue this, or should I just, learn to be complacent where I am? Is it going to be worth it? You're not happy here, but are you going to be happy somewhere else? And just all these things that go through your head. And so, have this girl that's standing up for herself, and this girl that's just learned that sometimes you just have to take a breath and walk away and know that it's time to move forward. And that's a big thing I'm working on in my life this year. And this page was just so fun. And I tried a new thing here as well. I have those Posca paint pens, which I've kind of fell in love with. Especially the white one. The white one, like, I have learned I don't ever need to buy markers and paint pens and stuff like that in all the colors. I just need black and white. Because I get pretty much all my colors from magazine for collage pages, and then I just need black and white to go on top of it. But I took the Posca paint pen, and it doesn't dry right away, so if you write, you can kind of smear it. And so I smeared it on there, and it's still transparent enough where you can see where the patterns connect to each other underneath. But I was able to write some words on top of there, and it was just so fun. And I've learned it creates kind of this eerie, almost smoky effect that I really like. And this one I just grunged all out. I was having some emotions that day, so just had fun. And I don't think this one was a one magazine challenge. I think it was just one. I go through my stash sometimes and just see what speaks to me. Oh, this was one that was from my stash as well. I had so much fun with this one. It's so girly and pink and pastel, and I was challenging myself to deviate from more like the darker themes for a minute and just have fun. And this has become one of my favorite pages, and it's a simpler one as well, but we've got this girl and her cat and all these things she keeps around her that she likes. I think of these what is it, almost like a grown-up version of the kawaii culture, I guess, where you see these just like powerful boss women, and they have all these things that are pretty and pastel around them, and they're unapologetic about it. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And with the cupcakes and the ice cream and the roses and the macarons, and I got my cat here, and I had to add some strings, because cats cannot resist those strings. So she's got like some strings on deck, right? And I did a little bit different with the texture here. I added these gel pen dots, and I just had a ball with it, y'all. Just had a ball. And this one we go back to the fantasy a little bit, but still very girly. I found this image of this castle. This is also have a video on this one. I think this was just from my stash. It wasn't a one magazine challenge. I found this image of this castle and I knew I had to make a page around it. That just happens sometimes. I find pages and I'm like, okay, you need to be in this book. I don't know what's going to be around you, but you need to be in this book. So everything kind of built around this castle, and the story came from that, and I just had fun with it. And I did, instead of more grungy, I did more kind of tight curly cues around, because I don't know, to my eye rounder lines are kind of more feminine in a way. I don't know. That's what my brain does. We just you know, we just listen. So now I sound crazy, but I don't know how else to describe it. People have asked my process, and I just kind of I see where stuff goes, and sometimes it turns out good, sometimes but we still have fun. And then I have this page. This was a one magazine challenge, and what magazine was it? Oprah magazine, maybe? I think it might have been Oprah magazine. Oh, and I had fun with this one. It's kind of like a career woman page. Like, this one is not fantasy. It's just all about life, I guess. This was done in March of 2019. And I don't know. I guess I was feeling some way about my professional life, and this was just a page. You know, they have all these hobbies here of this lady's, you know, cooking with these carrots and pies and gardening and ooh, icing on that cake, and some hiking shoes if you go outdoors, and then a city here, exploring the city, but then you still have these pastels in here, and you know, she's taking a moment, having a drink, she's listening to her favorite music, and it was just something I needed to remind myself that you can't get hung up in things that really don't matter. I mean, some things are a necessity in your life, and you just have to, and they're things you don't like, and that is just what season you're in. And other things, you need to enrich your soul so you don't go crazy and pull your hair out, and you know. And that's what I'm learning as the older I get. But I had some fun with this one, and I tried some new things. I took my gel pens and my paint pens, and I made little stars there with some swoops. I did some hearts around some of the letters, and see, got stars there, and I went around the stars with black gel pen to have them stand out even more. And you know, just had some fun with it, just making myself try different things. Then this is one magazine challenge number 5, I believe, Jewels Like No Other. Had a lot of fun with this one because I filmed a harvest video where I went through and chatted as I pulled images from the magazine, and then I made another video with the actual page. And had some fun with this one. This one was a little bit of a challenge for me because that magazine didn't have very many people pictures, but it came together, and just had this wonderful fantasy storyline with these girls and their magical jewels, because I mean, you can't go wrong with magical jewels, right? Okay, and then my last page here, my first composition notebook journal, I finished. I did this whole page about, and I just took all these different strips and interwove them around and made a texture and overlaid words over it. So I wanted to kind of follow that tradition in this journal, and I have a jar that every time I rip the edge off of images and I still think there's some viable image on there, I just throw it in this big pickle jar. And so these are made of bits of all these journal pages that I've done over the last couple years, and I've just mixed them all together to make a background. And I recently lost 2 of my cats that I've had for more than a decade, and so I was just feeling, I put these are not images of my cats, but these are ones that I have from magazines. I just put images of cats overlaid on there, and I made these little things out of cardstock with their name, and I had some stamps with the date, and don't forget the date that they passed away. So whew, yeah, it's been a rough week here. I lost 2 of my cats that I've had for over a decade within a week of each other. So one was a little more than 10, and then one was 16. So if y'all watch my videos, it was actually Miss Fluff. She unfortunately passed away, well, just yesterday as I'm filming this. And I'm just filming tons of art videos to stay busy, y'all, ain't gonna lie. Like I say, it's my therapy. Keeps me sane. Keeps me from thinking about bawling and being embarrassing at the vet. So they were real good, though. And just had fun with that. And then we have Jasper. He passed away on a week before Fluff did, to the day. Gosh, it was wild. But, yeah, they both had different types of cancer. Jasper had a few different issues in addition to the cancer, and Fluff just was old, and you know, it was her time. Thankfully, we caught on to the problem, and she didn't have to suffer very much. Like, you know, we didn't let it just go on and on. We took her in to get looked at. So, and she had very, very far advanced tongue cancer. So anyway, we're not going to talk about that because this is my happy place on the internet. But it was just good to get a lot of those emotions out and think of them while I'm, you know, putting all these different bits down. And yeah, they're just all bits of pages that are on the previous you know, page in here. So, and then we just have the back, where I put 2 more papers that I think are pretty and I like to look at. So that is the end of this journal. I finished it. That is awesome. It just took me 2 years. So I'm one of those, I bounce around journal to journal, y'all. And it's just so interesting if you art journal and you look back through your pages and you remember the emotion you put on there. It's almost like when you write something down that's bothering you on a piece of paper and you set it on fire, you know. This is my version of that. I work out a lot of things when I'm stressed. It keeps my mind busy. And, you know, like this says, we're worried about happiness, not perfection. And I like to see kind of how I got more confident in my journaling from this, you know, to this. So I like to see the progression of that. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching my long, more talkative flip through. If you just want to see the pages without hearing me yak on, then like I said, there's a shorter version on the channel, which I think I should be uploading at the same time I'm uploading this one. And yeah, so now I got to get me another composition notebook, and I'll be able to film. I'll film the cover process. I already have some materials picked out that I think I want to use, and ones that have special meaning to me, and we'll get another book prepped for that, because I do prep mine. Y'all can see it's not very thick. I don't want this thing that's this big, you know. This is very much like an art book to me, and we'll get to doing that. So thank y'all so much. Look forward to seeing that happen. And yeah, I'm gonna go lay down and chill with Kitty and Augie, and yeah, try not to think about all the crazy things. So I will see y'all next week in another art video. Bye guys.